yeah, it definitely impacted us. Right now, we are still rebuilding. Every time they shut us down, we kind of got to rebuild that flow again.
As far as that, what's kept us afloat it has been our own clientele, just booking appointments.
Since this whole pandemic started, unfortunately, we didn't wear a mask, and no, I'm not scared to catch the virus.
The occupation as a barber isn't as secured as it was once before 2020, and that is because of restrictions brought on to curb the spread of the novel coronavirus.
My name is Christian Gonzalez, and I'm from the city of LA. As a kid, I used to love drawing, so cutting people's hair is another way of another form of art.
How has the coronavirus pandemic affected you financially or the barbershop itself?
It's affected us in many ways as far as walk-ins. There's not really people coming into the barbershop because there's the same reason that they're scared of catching the virus or whatnot, even though we implemented, with the rules and regulations that, the city of LA has wanted us to do. So yeah, as far as that, what's kept us afloat it has been our own clientele, just booking appointments. But as far as walk-ins, yeah, it's been pretty dead.
And as of late, it's the holidays that have allowed the Cudahy Barbershop to stay afloat.
Aside from the holidays, usually holidays are really busy, and because of the pandemic, the same thing. It's just been our clients that has been keeping us busy. But as far as walk-ins or any other people that they usually get their haircuts done weekly or every other week, they haven't come in. So yeah, it's definitely affected us pretty bad.
Despite being in close distance with the clients, Christian feels comfortable cutting hair and not contracting the virus.
Yeah, it's always in the back of your mind. It's always in the back of my mind, but as long as I do feel safe, we wear our mask, we keep the distance. So when it comes to that, I'm not so much scared. I mean, we do take temperature at the door when they come in.
During this pandemic, have you needed to go find a side job or a second gig just to make up for the lost money?
The first time around, the first shutdown, yes, I did look for a second job because it was really slow. Yeah.
The Barbershop Inc. in Cypress has also felt the impact of the coronavirus, but the manager had other plans despite being shut down eventually.
My name's Carlos Tigreros, and I'm from Colombia. I was born in Colombia, and I've been here for 4 years. Ever since I was in high school, I was 16, and I started cutting my own hair. I have family that's in the field too, and then I just started growing a passion for being a barber.
Throughout the pandemic, Carlos admits to what most barbers won't.
Well, to be honest, since this whole pandemic started, unfortunately, we didn't wear a mask, and we didn't close down. We were letting people in through the back door.
But eventually, shutdowns and financial hardship hit the Barbershop Inc., as Louis Esquivel explains.
I grew up passionate being a barber since high school. I used to cut up my friends, and it went from a hobby to a living, The coronavirus pandemic affected us quite a bit, bro. Like I said, with our monthly income, it was tragically affected because as a business owner, it's tough. It's tough as it is already for small business. So the coronavirus only made it worse by having us shut down and also just running a risk in the earlier months of catching it or not catching it. So it was pretty hectic times.
As most of their clients are adults, there is a certain lost demographic the Barbershop Inc. is missing.
Clients coming in the shop definitely got affected. There's less kids coming into the shop, and kids keep us busy during the week because we get more of adult clients during the weekend. So that definitely impacted us. Right now we are still rebuilding. Every time they shut us down, we kind of got to rebuild that flow again.
As Louis keeps working through this pandemic, he is a bit worrisome of catching the virus for a reason.
I am scared to catch the virus because I have kids, so it's definitely it's iffy, I don't know. I mean, I've worked through this whole time and I haven't caught it yet, but the fear's still there. I disinfect after every use, bro, and even sometimes during, if it's like a hot summer day, you definitely, you run a higher risk, I feel like. So it's definitely put everybody on their A game when it comes to disinfecting.
As far as Carlos,
No, I'm not scared to catch the virus, or I would call it the flu.
Even his family doesn't feel the same way they first did earlier when the pandemic began.
For sure, they were concerned when this, like I said, this whole COVID started. They were scared for themselves. I was scared myself with everything we were hearing in the news. But they're not too scared now.
But there is one common theme across all barbers.
Does your family tell you to miss some time from work and stay safe and quarantine yourself?
Not really. Not really. I mean, obviously, you know, my wife does tell me to, you know, just take the precautions or whatever and be safe. But, I mean, we have to eat. We have to put food over our table, or, you know, pay the rent to keep the roof over our heads. So, in that sense, you know, go to work.
At first, she was kind of worried and a little upset because, you know, I'm coming home and, you know, with the whole that it's like might get stuck to your clothes, or, you know, you catch it with the client. But it was, now it's kind of more like, what can we do, you know? Bills gotta get paid.
For TUS TV, at the barbershop, I'm Julio Marquez.